Congratulations to the final 8 contestants, because you've made it to the halfway point of Jamixiy's Tournament TWOWs! You 8 are our quarterfinalists, but only 4 of you will become our semi-finalists. That kinda ruined the celebratory tone I was going for, but it's true. Only 4 of you will be moving on, although we will be finding out much quicker in this round. We've gone from 3 episodes in round 1 to 2 episodes in round 2, but only 1 episode in this round onwards. So, to make it a tad more exciting from now on, we'll be using a 1x1s chart. Also, the final 4 will be considered alumni of JTT. What exactly does it mean to be an alumni? I have no idea, it's just TWOW terminology. One of you probably knows what it is. Anyway, for the first time in JTT history, we had no DNRs! All 8 quarterfinalists responded. Awesome! Also, to celebrate the occasion, we've got some custom Booksona variations for all 8 contestants, who look ready to fight for their safe spot, thanks to one of our resident artists, GamerBoy31. Actually, that's not their name anymore. Now, they're a Minty Maniac. Regardless of name though, thanks so much for these epic renditions of our 8 contestants. Anywho, here's how these new results will work out. It'll be similar to the previous rounds, but on a percent-based chart, and also, you will know whose response is whose. So, it'll be interesting. But, to do that, we're gonna have to say goodbye to our trusty Border. Thank you for your service, Border. You'll be greatly missed for the next 8 to 10 minutes. First, we should probably introduce the 3 prompts that we gave our contestants. The first prompt of this round was, make an ideology you can get others to join. The second prompt was, invent a sport to be played in the Olympics 24/24. And finally, the third prompt was, what subject should be implemented into school curriculums worldwide? These were some tricky prompts, but our 8 quarterfinalists aren't going to back up from a challenge at this point. So, with no more dilly-dallying, let's get right into it. Now, our first matchup of the evening, VinCactus versus Hakun. From this point on, we aren't going to hide who did what response. So, to start off with round 3, VinCactus brings us his response to prompt 1, with his response of, being really, really cool ideology. You're cool if you follow. And to follow this, Hakun's first response was, perfectly aligned together, convince others that hexagons are the bestagons. I love that video. Now, I wonder which is more convincing, being cool or perfectly connecting shapes. Will the thrall of coolness be enough for VinCactus to get a good first position? Let's see what our 21 voters said. 21 voters? That's the most since 1A. Thank you all so much. Now, back to results. With a pretty wide difference, it looks like Hakun gets the first point of the seed. That doesn't mean it's over yet, not even close. Let's see what prompt 2 brings us. Next up in prompt 2, VinCactus responded with, full contact billiards. Most games end up with multiple casualties. That sounds dangerous. I wonder where our voters will hit this response. Damn, that sucked ass, actually. Oh, okay, I swear I'll do a better one next time, I swear. Anyway, Hakun sheds lights on a technological future with their response. With supercomputers inside brains, processing convoluted mathematics equations becomes competitive. Will this beneficial brain boost beat billiards? Let's see. Tight one, but VinCactus just barely pulls through over Hakun. To round this seed out, let's move on to prompt 3. VinCactus' response was, zombie survival class. They can just reuse the botany classroom. Nice Plants vs. Zombie reference. Hakun's response to this prompt was, how to do your taxes. Finally teach a useful skill. Both of those responses entail some pretty useful classes, but let's find out what our voters decided was good enough to take the win. Though more useful in real life, VinCactus' zombie fighting class takes the win over Hakun, giving him the first of our 4 safe spots in the semi-finals. Unfortunately, Hakun You are the first of our quarterfinalists to be eliminated. Next up in seed 34, though, we have our next matchup, Leopard Sun versus Crazy Blues. Leopard Sun's response to the first prompt was, "Don't mind our checkered history, join the blunderful chess cult." I'm kind of a chess master myself, so I like this response. Well, actually, that's a lie. Anywho, Crazy Blues' response to this prompt was heliocentric. Obvious fact nowadays, time travel back to the medieval. Will this time travel tomfoolery beat the chastised checker cult? Let's find out. Two to 19. Well, I'll be damned. That's the biggest split we've had in a while. Leopard Sun gets the first point of the round, but can Crazy Blues bring it back? Let's find out with prompt 2. Leopard Sun's response to this prompt was, "No longer bound by practicality, gymnastics involves superhuman flexibility challenges. Looks like in 24-24, gymnastics gets a lot more interesting." Crazy Blues' response to this prompt was, "Human bodies weaken after generations. Poking becomes the new hardcore sport. Guess in the future, we forget to touch grass." Anyway, let's see which of these responses will get the gold medal. And Crazy Blues was able to bring it back, getting themselves the first point of the round and tying it up. Looks like we'll have prompt 3 decide this round too, so let's get going. Cumulus curriculums. Teach kids cloud facts via well-disguised cotton candy. If I got cotton candy every day, I wouldn't miss that class once. Crazy Blues' response to this prompt was, investment in business systems. School actually teaches us something useful. Similarly to Hakan, Crazy Blues thinks that this helpful class is a bit more beneficial than cloud studies. But will this be his downfall as well? Let's see those votes. The exact same vote distribution as last time, but the other way around. Leopard Sun gets their second and final point of the round and gets themselves the second spot of round 4. Unfortunately, this means that Crazy Blues is the second quarterfinalist to be eliminated. Moving on to the top of our brackets, let's go to seed 35, a Minty Maniac versus Turkey. We've got our resident zombie versus our resident speedrunner. Let's see who's gonna make it to round 4. A Minty Maniac's response to prompt 1 was, the online cult. Learn no lifers in with free Discord Nitro. I mean, I'd rather have free Nitro from a cult than have to read that Wumpus webcomic. Turkey's response to prompt 1 was, hypnotize TWOWs into voting for my responses, thus starting TWOWism. A TWOW religion? Yeah, let's get all those shiny cowards. Will Turkey's meta response put the zombie back in the ground? Let's see what our 22 voters had to say. 22? Goodness gracious. Looks like Discord Nitro was just too appealing for our voters. A Minty Maniac gets their first point of the round. Let's move along to prompt 2. A Minty Maniac's response to the second prompt was, animal racing. Why not give animals chances to win medals? What a nice thought. Let every creature have the opportunity to win, even if they won't know what it is they've won. Anywho, Turkey's response to this prompt was, a competitive Thumb Wars League. It appeals to every demographic. Every demographic? What about amputees? They wouldn't be able to handle that game. Okay, that was a pretty tasteless joke. Whatever, let's see the votes. It seems as though it does appeal to every demographic of our voters. Turkey gets their first point of the round, and for the third time this episode, we're going to prompt 3 to break that tie. A Minty Maniac's response to prompt 3 was, sleeping. Kids are able to sleep well, increasing student productivity. I do think fondly of the times when nap time was an actual part of the school day. High school needs something like that. Anyway, Turkey's response to this prompt was Happiness 101. Unfortunately, almost every Gen Z student will fail. Kind of a stereotype, but I could see a pretty high fail rate in that class. Let's see which is the better option and who moves on to round 4. Looks like the zombie is going to live on. Even though their response involves sleeping like the dead, a Minty Maniac gets the 3rd safe spot into round 4. Unfortunately, this means our resident speedrunner wasn't quite fast enough. Turkey's eliminated. Now, there's only one more person who will be joining a Minty Maniac in round 4, and it's going to be decided in seed 36, AO Red versus Mayaki. AO Red's response to prompt 1 was, unite the intellectuals who know math equals red, science equals green, and etc. Ah yes, the common debate over what subject is what color. Personally, I say English is green, but it's up to argument. Mayaki's response to this prompt was, crustaceanism. It's krillionly shrimple. They're the barnacle of our existence. Man, this response is 1 in a krillion, but will it be able to overtake the color cult? Let's see what our 20 voters had to say. Looks like the voters didn't quite agree with AO Red's color colorations. Mayaki gets the first point of the seed with a pretty even 70-30 split. AO Red's response to prompt 2 was, ultra-distance swimming. Melting ice caps flooded the entire planet. Quite an existential concept, but helpful in the future. Mayaki's response to this prompt was, furrydom will be inescapable. Adding laser pointers, any sport's exhilarating. Seeing as so many of them seem to be like particle physicists or in vaccine development, I wouldn't be surprised if the world would end up being run by furries. Let's see those votes. Man, a tie. We haven't seen one of those in a while. In any case, let's move to prompt 3 to settle this final seed. AOR's response to this prompt was, AP virtue signaling. Show others you care while being passive-aggressive. Had to look that one up, but it's quite clever. Mayaki's response was, TWOW. It incentivizes creativity and intelligence. Twists will be easy. Imagine only writing 10-word essays. That would be amazing. Well, only one of these responses can win, and only one person can make it to the final 4. Let's see those votes! Another tie! How do we settle this? Well, technically, Mayaki did get a point in the first prompt. That means he has the percent advantage, meaning Mayaki wins the seed and becomes the final member of our semi-finalists. That's awesome. But unfortunately for AO Red, they're the final member of our quarterfinalists to be eliminated. Well, now that the results themselves are done, let's reveal the placements. In 8th place, we have Crazy Blues with a percentage of 36.5%. We've really enjoyed your presence in JTT, and you were one of the most active contestants in the Discord server. It's safe to say, you'll be missed by all. Thank you for playing JTT. AO Red comes in 7th with a percentage score of 43.4%. You were a fantastic player, and we've loved having you play. Congratulations on your final placement of 7th, because that's pretty good out of 40. Turkey is next in 6th place, with a clean 50% of the votes. Turkey, you've always been super active in the Discord server, and you were almost always reacting to the results with me and Jam as they came out. Thank you for partaking in JTT, and we hope to see you again if we do a 2nd season. And Hakun comes really close to 5th place, with 53.9% of the votes. You were also one of the 2 remaining extra rounders in the game, so we really appreciate how far you've come. Thank you for joining JTT, and congratulations on your 5th placement. To the 4 of you, don't think of this as a loss. This game started with 40 contestants, and you were in the top 8. This isn't just a loss. You have also solidified in JTT history these placements. So congratulations on making it this far into the game, and we'll miss you. Now, for the good news. The 4 remaining contestants in percent order is Vin Cactus, a Minty Maniac, Mayaki, and Leopard Sun. You 4 are our semi-finalists for JTT Season 1. And the 2 matchups for 4A will be a Minty Maniac versus Leopard Sun and Mayaki versus Vin Cactus. While the 4 of you have proved in the last 3, or in a Minty Maniac's case, 4 rounds, that you are far more capable of writing fantastic responses, only 2 of you will be deemed the coveted finalists. It's not going to be easy, but I hope you try your best. And until then, we'll see you in episode 4A.